Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a reading on what you're yearning for, and this can be hidden elements that you aren't aware of, and it will cover your mind, body and soul, and we'll be looking at each element within your reading as to what you're yearning for in each part of yourself. And then we'll be getting some oracle cards for guidance as well. So we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile 1 here, and then for pile 2 we have this one, and once again, like last time, we're using the imagery. And this is for pile 3. Feel free to pause the video if you need to choose which pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. So this is your reading if you chose this card, which is called the Void, and this particular card is going to represent where you are at the moment and sort of how you're feeling and how your general energy is. So the Void, to me, it can signify a dark night of the soul. It doesn't have to, but if we're looking at it on a spectrum wise, dark night of the soul would be sort of the one end of the spectrum, but it can also signify feeling kind of uncomfortable, whether it be that you've entered this energy when things haven't been exactly as you thought they would, and it can feel like a sense of disbelief, or that you've lost faith in yourself or in life in general, because you may be questioning what's real and what isn't at the moment. So it's like a sense of being possibly betrayed at some point as well. But if you can surrender to this, because there's a sense of needing to surrender because of not being able to go, as I've said before in previous readings, not being able to go over something or under something or around it. You have to go through it, and surrendering to that feeling and those emotions that are coming up as well. There's a healing in that. But it can also indicate a time when you're questioning everything. This can be your spiritual beliefs or questioning your significance in the world as well. But there's something missing at the moment, which is why you're in this void energy. If with this card's meaning, because of the uncomfortableness of those emotions and having that kind of empty space and void within us, if you don't surrender to it, then you can find that you're missing the lessons. So it's something to be mindful of if you're in this energy, because we're taught to constantly push forward and constantly be doing and striving for something bigger and better. But while there are times for that, it isn't always what we need for healing. And this particular card, it teaches us to be still and to be okay with uncertainty, because trying to escape it can mean that we stay there longer or we return to it sooner. So hopefully that has, I was going to say hopefully that's resonated, but in all honesty, I know it's not an easy place to be. So if this is your reading, we shall continue, and if not, then obviously feel free to check out the other piles. You aren't forced to accept anything that I say in these readings. Obviously take what resonates and don't let the rest take from you. But we're going to be looking at these 3 oracle cards, which are going to represent what you're yearning in your mind, body and soul. So for your mind, we have thank you, gratitude, appreciate what's sustaining you. And then for your body, we have ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. And for your soul, we have bounteous, generously given, relationships and coming together. So I'm going to slide these up because we're also going to get some tarot on these as well, just to kind of get some more information for you before we get into it. So, Spirit, what else do we need to know about pile 1's mind, please? And we have the Empress. What else, please, Spirit? And we have the 9 of Cups. I'm going to have to squidge those over there a little bit, I think. We'll see how we'll do for space. And for the body, please, Spirit. And we have the Page of Wands. And what else, please, Spirit? And we have the Sun. Yeah, that makes complete sense. We're going to get into it in a second. I just want to pull all the cards for you. And for their soul, please, Spirit. Pile 1 soul. And we have the Death card and the 2 of Cups. And the bottom of the deck energy is the 6 of Wands. I'm going to see if I can squeeze that in this corner. So, right, my pile 1's. There is a need for gratitude and being able to see the things that are going right, especially when you're in this energy of the void. There's a need to... Your mind is yearning to be able to see the good, because when you're in the void energy, you may find that you are kind of being pulled down into lower vibrational emotions like anger, frustration, and those sorts of things, and depression. So your mind is craving those good thoughts, those happy, uplifting thoughts, because it will help to free you, or not free you from it, but to help you alchemize it. Because you are good on your own. You have everything that you need at your disposal, but it's a matter of being able to look up and see it. And your mind is quite possibly desiring that emotional fulfillment on your own, and being able to really sit in your receiving energy. So your mind is trying to find that balance. As I said, these are things that you may not be aware of, so although you may be in that state of mind where you can't see the good in things, there is a part of you in your mind that wants to be able to see them and to see those, because it's going to help open everything up so that you can draw things to you as well. Because the Empress is very much a divine feminine, and really embodying that energy of receiving. So this can be, if we take it as a literal sense, it could be that if you are in a state of depression because you're in the void type energy, then it can mean that we have a tendency to clutter our space, not take care of ourselves physically. This can also include things like your silly things that we don't necessarily think of, but things like changing the bed, putting on your favourite clothes, having a nice long hot bath, those sorts of things, and the little luxuries in life could be what you need and what's going to help you to navigate this. And then with your body here, with the Page of Wands and the Sun, and ride the waves, it's all about getting that movement back into your body, that spark of passion, and doing things that bring that childlike part of yourself joy. So whether it be dancing, acting silly, doing crafts, colouring, all those sorts of things that you may have enjoyed when you were younger, those are going to help free up the energy in your body, and moving your body as well is what's coming to mind. Being able to actually just kind of find that rhythm through movement, whether it be something like dancing or yoga, but there is something about being able to tap back into that, to be present in your body as well. Because if you can be present in your body, it's going to help you to be able to find those lessons in this energy that you're in, so that you can grow through them. Because your soul is really yearning and desiring that alchemy, that transformation, and all of the balanced emotions that come with it as well. Because the Two of Cups, although it's always pictured as there being a couple, as far as I'm aware, in traditional tarot, there is that element, that duality between our emotions, and the positive and the negative. And even when it comes to our masculine and feminine energies, and being able to balance the two so that you can find that harmony within yourself, because it's going to help lead to the bounteous energy that's here. Because it's about coming together and relationships. So it could be your relationship with yourself, that your soul is desiring that alchemy and change. And also with the Six of Wands here, there is progress already that you've been making, because you're already in the middle of this process. You're already going through this transformation and dark night of the soul, and it feels very much like it's part of a necessary process to get you to where you're supposed to be going. It may be that you've kind of been ignoring, up until this point, you've been ignoring intuitive nudges and things that were kind of being laid down for you, for your guides, and because of your soul mission before you came here. And by going through this, it's going to help you alchemize and really become who you are meant to be and who you are at your core level. But it's not easy, it's not straightforward. as with anything, when it comes to growth and going through such a big shift and change. But it is something that you're already doing, and you deserve to be proud of yourself for how far you've come and what you've achieved so far. Because these are such profound changes that are going to take place. But we're going to look at your oracle cards now, because it feels very much like there isn't much more that I can kind of say to you. There isn't anything else that's kind of coming through, and it's just a matter of staying grounded and present through the process. But you will get there. So we have 5 oracle cards for you, which have got messages on the back. So we're going to see what they say for you, and they're going to be, my intention when I pulled these was that they will be messages of guidance for you from spirit or your higher self. So we have the Dharma of Kali. Your most abundant successes manifest when you are aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established. You are being led into it. And we also have Karma of Kali. You are being offered a spiritual gift from the Divine Mother. Your path need not be one of endless exertion. Connecting with pleasure is a path of personal empowerment, intending to bring spiritual benefit to the collective through the softening and opening of your heart as an act of worshipping the Divine Feminine. Let yourself receive her loving gifts. I love that they've come out and I've laid them this end, because it feels like it goes with this part of your reading as well. But we also have Reclaim Your Energy. Our energy is our responsibility, and how we give it away becomes a conscious choice as we step into empowerment. And yes, it is possible to restore the fragments of self we gave away before we came into this awareness. You have the power to own your energy and choose where you direct it. If you are not at your optimal vibration, consider the core of why this may be. Detach from depleting influences and boost positivity. It is up to you to make the shift. Transform your life by choosing healing and self-empowerment. Kickstart the upward spiral to abundant energy and soul presence. Yeah, that feels like it goes with this part of the reading as well. But we also have She of the Lotus. If there is a way to fast-track growth, it is by being real with the shadowy or unloved parts of ourselves. Shadows can be painful or tender to the touch. Sensitivity can be a trigger that shows us where we might want to spring clean some of our darker, forgotten, ignored or hidden corners. Accepting our shadow is the first stage in restoring ourselves to wholeness in self-love. Peel back the layers where there is shame, guilt or fear, and bring them into the daylight. Under a loving and compassionate light, they will restore and reassimilate, reminding us that on the flip side of the coin, these are our superpowers. And for your final oracle, we have Soul Star Chakra, merging with the divine. This image captures the merging of time beyond space and kaleidoscopic wisdom that penetrates our being. We have lived in many worlds, all interconnected. They uphold the lessons they carry as messages of transformation. Their synergy creates the expansion of the universe. Gaze into the place where the light between our stardust can become anything, and collective evolution is part of a grander story. When we simply let go, we become all that we have been seeking and glimpse the greater dream. Meditate on the idea, excuse me, that everything that ever was and ever will be is happening simultaneously, right now, across multiple dimensions. So I hope that that has been helpful, because there's so much growth taking place in you right now, and being able to be present, reclaiming your power, and allowing yourself to really soften and surrender into this process, it's going to help you so much. So with that being said, I'm going to leave your reading here. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, my pal twos. So this is your reading if you chose this card, which is Get Creative. Now, my guess would be that you are very naturally creative. You enjoy making things, whether or writing, doing art, literally anything that you can create. It can even be taking photography as well. If this is something that is, well, especially if it's something that is naturally a part of who you are, if you've been neglecting it, then this is your sign to get back to it. You may work in a creative industry, but if you don't, creativity is still a really important part of your life and a part of who you are. To be honest, creativity is something that we all have within us, and it's just part of being human. It's something that we've always done from a young child, and if you think of all the things that we have in the world now, from being able to have electricity and a light bulb, to being able to go on holiday and fly in an aeroplane or drive a car, every single thing that we have and use have been created, even down to the clothes that you're wearing. Everything has been thought of and been an idea to someone, and has then been brought forward and created and brought to fruition. So this feels like an integral part of who you are. So if it's something that you feel like you've been neglecting or haven't really been doing much of recently, because it can even be as simple as rearranging your living space, or redecorating, but there's something about being creative and needing to get back to that, because when we're in that energy, that creative energy, it allows there to be a flow and bring life into alignment, because it helps to shift our vibrational set points and all those sorts of things. So this card is kind of a prompt as well to ask you to look around and see what things inspire you. What do you feel called to create or transform? Because it can be upcycling as well. I'm suddenly thinking of, because it's something that my mum does, getting old clothes, even for, like second-hand clothes from a charity shop, and then upcycling them, adding things to them, altering them, and giving them a whole new lease of life. Even down to something like that could be really significant for you. So hopefully that resonates, and you will know whether this is your pile, because we're going to take a look now at your oracle cards. Now these are going to represent the 3 different sections of the reading. or the three main sections of the reading. So we're going to have your mind, body and soul, and each card is going to represent what that part of you is yearning for. Once again, it might not be something that you're consciously aware of, but that's okay. It's just kind of a way of letting you know. So some of it may resonate and some of it you may not be aware of as yet. So for your mind, we have water codes. Ancient wisdom, intelligence is within you. I'm going to get some tarot for these as well. For your body, we have the water oracle. Psychic abilities, acting on visions, it's destined. And then for your soul, we have let it rain. Allowing what is, inevitability and trust. And because I've only just started working with these, I kind of feel called to read this one for you. If I can find it quickly in the guidebook, because this deck has only recently come out and I'm still kind of getting to know it myself at the moment. Water codes 142. There we go. So water codes. Ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. Water has long been associated with wisdom. Celtic legend says that the goddess Caradwyn, maybe, had a magic cauldron in which she brewed herbs, and that anyone who drank from these waters would acquire great wisdom. Brigid is another Celtic goddess associated with water, particularly water wells, many of which were named in her honour. Even today there's a huge shrine to her in Glastonbury's White Springs. It was once believed that the future king of the land had to drink Brigid's well water to be initiated into his rule. There's more names that I can't pronounce. Masaru Emoto proposed, I hope that I pronounced that right, proposed that water molecules can carry our thoughts, words and emotions. This theory has the potential to change so much for humanity. Some believe that through connecting with water consciousness, we can unlock lost wisdom. What if we could remember the lost wisdom of our ancient ancestors, learn from their mistakes and reconnect to those wise ones who lived in deep reverence of the waters and the earth? What if through working with water we could bring about healing on this water planet? You're an ancestor of times yet to come, called to reconnect with the wisdom of nature and the waters and be guided accordingly. You're a visionary of these times. Connect to the intelligence of the waters and lead. This is actually making me think of things like using crystal water bottles, or even if you wash your crystals and double check that they are ones that are safe to put in water, then you can make your own water bottles by just putting them in a bottle with filtered water, because the water will pick up on the vibrational energies of the crystals. Much like the study that was done with writing down words on pieces of paper and then freezing them, and how they affected the molecules of the water. So there's something about, because this is your mind and what your mind is craving, be careful what words you use when you're talking about yourself, because everything you think turns into an emotion. It can trigger an emotion, and that's going to settle, because our bodies are made up with so much water. I think it's like 60 or 70% water, our bodies. So your body's going to remember that water element within you is going to remember that, how you're thinking and how you're processing things, and the language that you use when you speak to yourself. But I'm going to get some tarot cards to go with it. just to get a bit more information. What else do we need to know, please, Spirit? About pile 2s. Pile 2's mental. Yeah, 4 of Swords and the Page of Swords. There is a need for rest. If you are the kind of person where your mind is constantly on the go, and as I was saying about the language and things that we use, there's a need to kind of unplug, and because it's going to allow you to start to find that clarity. If you're suffering with monkey mind, it's going to stop you from being able to connect with your intuition, because that voice in your head is just going to override everything constantly and just keep going and going and going. So there is a need for rest, and because it's going to, by letting your mind rest and not constantly be processing information, whether it be that you need to disconnect from social media, turn your phone off for a few hours or something like that, so that you're not constantly bombarding your brain with stimuli, it's going to help you find that mental clarity and then be able to reconnect with your higher chakras and getting those intuitive downloads for your creativity and projects that you're working on. So if that's something that you've been struggling with, that's going to help, just having that downtime and disconnect, and looking at other ways that you can support your well-being through water as well. Because I think you're quite a sensitive person. Most creatives are, but you may, I can't remember which Claire it is, but the one where you experience other people's emotions and things physically through your body. Because of this coming out with the psychic abilities and acting on visions, it's destined. There's something about your body being sensitive to that and sensitive to the energies around you. So be mindful of the people that you spend your time with and the things that you have in your creative space and your personal space. They're all going to have an impact. If you are the type of person that gets things secondhand, either from somewhere online or from charity shops, make sure that you are cleansing them when you first get them. If it's something that you can wash, then stick it in the washing machine or whatever, and wash it down. If it isn't, then use something like a smudge stick to cleanse it, but water seems to be quite significant for you. Although this is a deck that is to do with using water for healing and reconnecting with that element, you've had to come out that actually has water written in it, which is making me feel like you could be quite an intuitive and emotional person as well. But let's get a couple of tarot on there. So what else, please, Spirit? What else do we need to know about pile 2's body and what they are? What they're desiring and seeking, please. And we have the Sun card. So yeah, take that time to reconnect, and if there are any sports or games that you used to like to play when you were younger, then it would likely be helpful for you. It's going to help you reconnect with your body if you can take the time to go and do those things and have that play and downtime. And Six of Wands. Yeah, it's a matter of building new habits and things that are going to support your body. Whether that be some form of exercise or something that is going to allow you to free any stagnant energies and things like that. Because of you being energy sensitive, I'd say, it may be that you need to cleanse your own aura as well, which you can do with things like a Himalayan salt bath, smudge sticks, or like Palo Santo stick. There's something about freeing yourself from that energy. You could also do body scans as well, which is where you are kind of scanning your body for anything that feels tight or uncomfortable, and then consciously breathing into that to release it. But when it comes to your soul here, let it rain, allowing what is, inevitability and trust. Yeah, there's at soul level, there's a desire there to trust in the process, to trust the universe, to trust that you will really be held, and that it's okay to take that leap of faith, because you're going to be caught. The universe has got you. It's going to catch you. It's got your back. And finding a way to allow yourself to sit with what is and to be comfortable with it, to be comfortable with the unknown and the uncertainties, and surrender to the process and the moment. But let's get a couple of tarot on that. What else, please, Spirit? What else do we need to know? It's the Tower. Yeah, it's just allowing the alchemy to take place. The Four of Wands. Yeah, there's a stability there. Whether it be from your loved ones, your spirit team, your guides, there is... Yeah, and on the back of the deck here we have Strength. This transformation that surrendering is going to allow you to go through, it's going to help you to build something that is lasting. Because if something isn't built on a solid foundation to start with, then the slightest storm that comes along, it's going to all tumble down, because it's like building a house of cards. Whereas allowing yourself to accept what is and not resist this change, it's going to help you to tap into your own inner strength and find that courage and groundedness to rebuild something new. So we are, because I think that's all that I have for you on the tarot. So we're going to look at these oracle cards for you, which are going to, when I pulled these, they were intended as guidance, either from spirit, universe, or your higher self. So we have Devi Ma Kali. No matter what you have done, no matter how many mistakes you have made, Kali is here for you always. Yours is the safety and sanctuary of her divine love. She is your soft place to fall, your kindest and most enthusiastic advocate. Let her shift your experience from endless tasks and ever greater expectations into sweet relief and comforting connection. And we also have, I think it's Arthur of Calais. I might pronounce these wrong, I do apologise if I do. You are forging your authentic path. In support of that, you shall attract great blessings that will benefit all beings. To live a spiritually and creatively self-directed life takes incredible strength and trust in yourself. Remember that the promise of your sacred success is being fulfilled through every challenge and every blessing. Trust in what you were born to accomplish. Yeah, it's that part of trusting yourself and trusting the process again. And we also have furred and feathered friends. Animals are intuitive, sacred beings and the wisdom keepers of many earth traditions. They are some of our most loving companions and have much to teach us. Yet the treatment of some species is appalling. As our empathy expands, we see other beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal to our own. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion to minimize the harm we do to the planet and her inhabitants. This card also signifies energetic bonds. You may have a greater awareness of the wisdom of the animal you encounter and their meaning for you. This is making me think of, you might find that you have a companion animal that is that you're particularly close to or feel particularly bonded with, and it's okay to focus your attention on spending time with them and to deepen that bond and to allow them to hold that compassionate space for you, because they have so much love to give. So yeah, there might be something significant there about companion animals. And we also have loving compassion. Bring more love to a situation, whether it is towards yourself or someone connected to the question. There may be a need for forgiveness or for seeing things from a fresh, more expansive perspective. Remember you are loved and have unlimited access to the gentle yet transformational force of loving compassion as and when you need it. To bring yourself back into your heart, think about those you love and moments with them where you have felt joy. Expand this feeling out to more and more people, creatures and places until the whole planet is infused with this beautiful, warm and loving feeling. So, I hope that resonates for you, pile 2. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. I'm sending you so much love, and feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so. And I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So this is your reading if you chose the warrior card. We're going to use this card to kind of identify where your energy is at the moment before we get into the rest of the reading. On first impressions, it is making me think of Aries because of the it's like a ram's horns that are on there. So to me it's also got, I'm going to read this one from the guidebook from you because there's a message in here that I don't think that I would be able to convey in quite the same way. But it's also making me think of Emperor type energy, of having that ability to have been through things and had those experiences, and to be able to see things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, because you have the knowledge and experience there. But I'm going to read from the guidebook for you. So that might be just a side message, or someone with that particular personality type, or that is an Aries may be significant to you. But obviously take what resonates and don't let the rest take from you. So in the book, the warrior is on page 116, in case the number's relevant to you. Pulling the warrior card indicates the need for strong fire energy and internal power. The warrior is a call to action as opposed to just a state of mind. It asks you to examine not just oppressive people in your life, but also the larger systems within the world, and then get back to work. The warrior is not about complacency. In identifying where you need to stand up more, you may make those around you feel uncomfortable and defensive, but you must continue forwards. The warrior can have a cutting message. It is saying, I see what you are doing, but what else can you do? Warrior sacrifices parts of themselves for humanity at large. The balanced warrior fights to create positive change, but may go about it in questionable ways. They are strong and resilient and do not have fear when they go up against oppressors. When the warrior is imbalanced, they can be very inflammatory and hyper-aggressive. They can push those away that may be of use to them and easily bypass things that are good for them. They don't understand the concept of pick your battles and react with equal intensity no matter how big or small the issue is. So depending on whether you're in a good place or not could depict as to which part of the energy you're currently embodying at the moment. But if you can see yourself in this card, then this is your reading. If not, then obviously feel free to check out the other piles as well. But I'm going to pop this one up here, and then we're going to use these oracle cards to look at what it is that you're really desiring and yearning for in the different parts of your body, parts of yourself. So this is going to represent your mind, body and soul. So your mind is yearning for metamorphosis, embrace transformation, things are now different. Love that. And your body is yearning for the waterfall, inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. And then your soul is yearning for gentle force, consistency, persistence, patience, the long game. Okay, so I'm going to pull some tarot cards before I get into the first part, and just to kind of see what this metamorphosis is about. Your mind, Holy Spirit, what is this metamorphosis about, please, my pile threes, and what their mind is yearning for. And we have the Five of Cups. What else, please, Spirit? And the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so there's something about a change that you are resisting. And you're busy looking at what you've lost and not being able to let go of it. But your mind is really yearning for this transformation and to be able to let go of these things and to be able to move forwards, because that's going to hold you back from taking those action steps that you need to, as being in this warrior energy, and finding that ability to let go and to focus on what you have that is good and that is still bringing you joy and happiness. It's going to enable you to, if you've been finding yourself being snappy or aggressive and maybe even to an extent overreacting to a situation because you're coming from that reactive emotional place from within yourself and thinking of things negatively, it's going to allow you to refocus and step away from that so that you are in the more positive attributes of the warrior and being able to take that decisive action that you're being called to. So, and your body. Your body is yearning for inner power, unbridled confidence, and claiming your place. Yeah. Can we get some tarot on that, please, Spirit? What else do we need to know about pile 3's body is yearning? 10 of Cups. Get another one, please, Spirit. And the 8 of Pentacles. Because of what you're dealing with mentally and the loss that you've been through and that you're dealing with and coming to terms with, accepting that things have changed, your body is really craving that reconnection with yourself and your emotional fulfillment, because we can be emotionally fulfilled without the need for anything or anyone externally from us. It's all to do with how we're thinking and really allowing ourselves that. But it's something that you're going to have to work towards slowly. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to be a slow and steady progress. But keep going. Don't stop working on your emotional fulfillment and having everything that you need emotionally, because that's going to help you cultivate that confidence in claiming your space and place in the world that your body is desiring. If you've got a self-care practice going, then, or if you haven't, then I'd say start one. But there's a need to start one. But there's something about really building on that and allowing yourself those small increments to build your confidence in who you are and your own inner strength and power. You could do things like journaling, or to kind of not to be afraid of looking at your shadow self and the things that you are struggling with and the emotions that are kind of holding you back or tipping the scale of that warrior energy, so that if you're in finding yourself in the negative traits of the card, it will help to get you back into that positive by focusing on it and doing the things that you really love to do and that bring you happiness. Whether it be, there's something about moving your body as well, which has been quite a common theme for this reading. Like through all the piles, there's a need to move more and free up that any energy that might be blocked in your body as well, whether it be through yoga, dance, or anything similar that you're drawn to. Because in this particular 8 of Pentacles in this deck, she's drawing as opposed to chiseling out stone or something like that, which I've seen in other decks. So this is making me think that maybe creative pursuits like art might be useful for you as well. But what your soul is yearning for, it may be that because we have consistency here in what your soul is yearning for, it could be linking in with this, because the 8 of Pentacles is all about consistency, keep working on what it is that you've already done, because you've achieved so much, and just keep going, keep building on it, and keeping that consistency in place. So the things that you are doing to help your physical body and what your body is yearning for is going to help and support what your soul is yearning for as well. Can we get a bit more, please, Spirit? Yeah, Nine of Cups. It's feeling like there's something not quite... It's being good on your own, but feeling like there's something missing. What else, please? What else, please, Spirit? And the Page of Swords. So, because we've kind of taken a step back from the Ten of Cups to the Nine of Cups, there is something emotionally, like it's good, and you're good on your own emotionally, but there's still room for that little bit more of softening and letting others in. But the consistency of what you're currently doing and working towards, it's going to help with that. And with the Page of Swords here as well, getting really clear on how that looks, how that consistency would look for you, so that you can practice that patience and really planning for your long-term goals. Because it's all well and good taking action and making changes, but if we don't know where we're heading in the long run, or have no kind of idea of what we're working towards, we can kind of find ourselves a bit scattered and all over the place, and doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of something else. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but when you do that over a long period of time, you may find that you aren't making any progress. Because at the back of the deck we have the Sun card. So there could be a need to reconnect with your inner child, and because the Sun is the happiest card of the tarot, but I also associate that with our inner child, or being childlike, and having that childlike curiosity and drive to just explore and experience the world. So there may be a need for you to tap into that. It may support you, and it may be what you're craving overall, and that all of these things are leading into. But don't be afraid to cut away the things that aren't serving you, and to allow things that letting go. It's okay to let go. It's okay for things to change, and because it's going to lead to your growth at the same time. So to finish off your reading, we are going to take a look at some oracle cards, and I pulled these with the intent of them being messages from Spirit, the universe, or your higher self. So we're just going to take a look and see what the messages are. No matter how logical an approach may be, or how sensible it may seem, there are times when the heart nudges us towards a different way. Have the courage to be moved by your heart along untried paths that resonate, whatever the logical mind has to say about them. You are outgrowing a problem and birthing a superior outcome. So there is a reason that this didn't pan out, didn't work out, didn't stay, because rejection is divine protection. So if something has fallen away and you're struggling with really letting it go, know that it's for a reason, and holding on to it is going to cause you more pain and anguish than it would if you were to just let it be and let it go. But we also have, I was going to try and pronounce the thing on the top there, Nietzsche Kali? Might be Nietzsche. I'm not 100% sure, so please forgive me if I've pronounced it wrong. Through journeying within, you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize that you are not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon for you. Honor your losses, but keep your hope in keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be, which is very similar to what I was just saying. But yeah, so we also have transformation. Go inwards and be present with wherever you are at in your process. Feel whatever you need to feel. It may be hard to be present with some parts of yourself. Bring them into a cocoon of gentle self-love and reflection. Insight will come, shadows can be released, and your heart space will soften. Cry or be angry if this is what you are holding on to, and laugh at the ironic divine perfection of it all. Journey beyond your constructed outer self, where you can delve into the beautiful abyss of your being. Revel in the twilight before the dawn, and let your wings unfurl. Love that. Love that for you, pile 3. And we also have Portal Keeper. Portals are gateways to other layers of reality. They can be accessed through inner practices or externally in places such as the planet's vortexes. It could be vortices, sorry. Gently explore the edges of your existence. Spend time listening in the forest. Deepen your meditation practice. Dance yourself into ecstasy. Explore psychic tours and study new healing modalities. If you feel lacking in purpose or life seems a little mundane, remember there is never a reason to be bored. What we experience with our physical senses is just the tip of the iceberg. Magic exists wherever you care to find it. Look between the lines to limitless discovery. So, I hope that resonates for you and that's been helpful. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. I think that's going to be where I'm going to leave your reading. But feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. And I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye.